On the morning of October 31st, 1957, United Airlines mainliner Flight 101 made a routine position report to United Flight Operations at Los Angeles International Airport.
United 101 over Daggett on the hour, 17,000 descending.
Roger, United 101. Over Daggett on the hour, 17,000 descending.
The time is 7 o'clock. Exactly.
United 101 approaching Apple, changing to Los Angeles Center.
Roger, United 101. Approaching Apple, changing to Los Angeles Center.
The time is 7:03.
United 101, will you put the dispatcher on the air, please?
Okay, stand by one.
The time is 7:29.
Charlie, this is Jack Blake. Go ahead.
We're having difficulty getting our main gear down. So we're going to circle, attempt to get it down by centrifugal force with 45-degree banks. You might get the crew chief to stand by, and if we can't get the gear down, I guess we're going to have to make a belly landing gear up. So we'll try and see what we can do and let you know. We have about 5,000 pounds of fuel aboard.
Okay, Charlie, I got all your remarks. Did you say the left main gear was up? Go ahead.
The right main gear will not come down. The tower advises that it appears to be the gear door is partially open, which may indicate it's jammed.
The time is 7:31.
Okay, Charlie, I watched you go over myself, and the crew chief was on top of the hangar. He also watched you go over. I talked to the crew chief and asked him if he has any suggestions. He said no, the only thing he could think of right away quick is that you try to snap the gear up by a pretty good pull-up to give it some centrifugal force. Before we consider coming in for a belly landing, I'd like to use some of that fuel you got on board, and maybe some of our brains can think of something that can help you out.
We're going ahead with the regular procedures as prescribed in the manual and whatever else we can think of. We'll give you another call.
Okay, Charlie.
The time is 7:33.
Charlie, this is Blake again. I talked to the crew chief, and I was up on the roof myself. Apparently, from the ground, it did not appear that the door was open on your right main truck. The gear appeared to be fully retracted. This was the crew chief's opinion also. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, one of our trips said the door was open as completely as was the left one. However, no gear on that one. So we're going to have to be sure that, we're just going to have to make another pass and have them confirm it definitely, and then we'll go on from there.
Okay, Charlie, for the information of the people who are worrying about your problem on the ground, have you attempted to shear the pin as outlined in the emergency procedures? Go ahead.
Negative. We haven't tried that procedure yet. We wanted to be sure that the doors were not jammed partially closed and perhaps make it impossible for us to get all of our gear up again.
I see. Okay, Charlie, if you work with the tower by making another pass over the field, they got some glasses in the tower. They may be able to see more than we will. We have no glasses here.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll go back to the tower and have them take a look. We want to confirm that we have our gear down.
Okay, Charlie. Before you go away, I have two comments. One, the hangar crew chief now advises that the right door appeared to be open about 6 inches. This is different from what I first heard on the telephone. Also, one of our senior captains is here in the office and has suggested that the gear might come down if you operated it as the speed brake. Go ahead.
We tried that once, but we'll give it another try and see what happens.
Okay, Charlie, we'll stand by.
The time is 7:55.
Give me the crew chief, please.
This is Blake again, Charlie. What was your request? Go ahead.
Okay, we'd like to speak to the crew chief if he's there. Well, I'll relay the message to you, and we can both talk together. It doesn't make any difference. At the present time, the gear, of course, won't extend. and we think the doors appear to open about 6 or 8 inches on either side. Now, we've attempted to shear the lockout or to shear the pins, and that also came up with negative results. However, we have got one other factor here, and that is when our gear handle is neutral, we get an unsafe red warning light.
Charlie, you have full hydraulic pressure? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's affirmative. Affirmative.
Okay, I'll relay this to the crew chief. He isn't in his office at the moment. I'll ask him to come up here so I can discuss it with you. Incidentally, Charlie, before I get off the horn, I'll tell you what we've been thinking down here. If it becomes necessary to make a belly landing, you'll be better off to do it at Riverside, out east of Los Angeles, because a very complete setup they have for handling accidents. That is firefighting equipment and whatnot. If that agrees with your thinking, well, you might think about it for a while.
How long are the runways at Riverside?
The runway there, Charlie, is 13,300 feet long. It's a strategic Air Force base out there, March Air Force Base.
Well, it sounds reasonable to us. I imagine the weather out there is pretty much the same as it is here, huh?
Yeah, weather's just about the same. As a matter of fact, you'd be able to go over there VFR. The current weather is ceiling estimated 9,000 broken with 15,000 overcast above. We've been in touch with them on the telephone. They have a bomber mission which is scheduled for takeoff at 8:50. They said we can possibly defer any action till that time. They'd be more than happy to take care of us if we went over there after 8:50. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, in the interim, if there are any experts around who have some ideas we haven't tried, we think we've tried about everything. But I don't know. It's so far no luck.
Okay, Chuck, we got everybody in the country aware of your problem. If anybody comes up with any idea at all, we'll pass it on to you right away.
Fine, okay. I'll give you a gas check in a few minutes.
Okay.
The time is 8:14.
Charlie, Don Chase, our chief engineer here at Los Angeles, would like to talk to you about your problem. I'll put him on the horn.
Charlie, this is Don Chase. On retracting the gear, does the red light still stay on? I mean, this gear, is it partway down and stuck?
When the gear is in the retract handle full-up position, there are no lights on. However, in the neutral position, the red light is on. And in the neutral position, by observation from the cabin, the main gear doors are extended partially, not fully. Go ahead.
Have you tried up and down quite a few times, see if it extends any further any time?
Yeah, we've tried it numerous times.
Well, I think I'd tried as many times as possible, Charlie. There could be something binding that may break loose. There's something. It comes off the latches all right, so it isn't the latch.
Perhaps in some way damaged the mechanism so that we couldn't get the other gear, the left main gear, up. And we'd rather not jeopardize our completely gear-up landing by fouling the mechanism. However, we're going to try it again because from observation on the ground, apparently both doors open the same distance. We had various accounts, but it seems like the most reliable one now is that both doors, when the left main gear is down, are fully open.
Okay, Charlie, try it some more if you can. As long as you've got hydraulic pressure, you should be able to get the other gear up and nose gear up again.
Well, just a few more times. We'll see what happens here.
Okay, let me know.
Will do.
The time is 8:18.
We'd like to talk to the engineering man again. Actually, we got another factor involved here. In order to raise the gear from a down position, we have to depress the solenoid button or it won't come up. Unless we depress it, however, it does go down normally.
Well, Charlie, I think probably because that one gear hangs out a little bit, but I think there must be a cable jammed in that gear somehow because it comes off the latch okay if it hangs down any. So I thought if you could work it up and down a few times, you might get whatever is jamming it out of the way.
Okay, we'll try it some more.
The time is 8:20.
Charlie, this is Blake. How's your fuel situation stacking up now?
We have about, we have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 pounds.
Well, time is approaching, Charlie, when we probably ought to make some kind of a decision. For your information, I've been called by the military, and they've advised that they'll be unable to accept your airplane at Riverside because of explosives on the field there. As an alternate suggestion, they've suggested Edwards Air Force Base out in the desert. Muroc Dry Lake. They got a 13-mile-long runway out there.
Okay, well, I believe we'd better get over there and get our evacuation procedures worked out and get in conversation with the people over there. How many miles is it to Edwards?
In the neighborhood of 70, Charlie. They've got an Omni over there on 116.4. Just a moment here till I take a look at the chart. If you get to the Palmdale Omni, you can tune the Edwards Omni on 116.4. Edwards Air Force Base is southwest of the Edwards Omni. Looks to be about 20 miles. Go ahead.
Well, we want to know the weather over there before we start out and go over there.
Okay, Charlie, I'll get a weather report and have it for you in just a moment.
Shirley, don't forget in case you had to put it down to ask them to foam the runway. That'll help your friction there on the initial contact.
Yeah, okay, will do. Whoever that was, thanks a lot.
The time is 8:30 exactly.
Charlie, the last weather I have for Edwards gives a ceiling of 6,000 feet with very light rain. I got someone on the phone right now getting the current weather. I'll have it for you in a moment. In the meantime, we got a suggestion from the Douglas Airplane Company which may help. In similar instances in the past, they've been able to free a main truck by a procedure like this. If you feather the number 3 engine, and then just as you unfeather it, slam the gear handle down, the additional torsional effect that you get from unfeathering the engine as you put the gear handle down may free the gear. Would you like to try that and see what happens? Go ahead.
Roger, we're going to try that. But if there's any weather involved in our letdown at Palmdale, we probably have a fuel problem now. We'll go ahead and try that procedure that was just suggested, and we'll see what we come up with.
Charlie, as you're pulling that engine feathering procedure, will you head out towards Palmdale? And I don't think if the weather will be any worse than 6,000 to 7,000 overcast out there, you should have no problem on the letdown at all. Go ahead.
The only letdown procedure we have for Palmdale in the manual is the low-frequency procedure. Is that correct?
I have a procedure in the Jepson manual here in front of me, Charlie, for Edwards Air Force Base. If you get to Palmdale and tune in the Edwards Omni, I can give you the rest of the procedure from here. The letdown's on a heading of 042 degrees from the Edwards Omni. Go ahead.
042 from Edwards Omni.
That's right. Letting down to the northeast for a procedure turn at 5,500. And long before you get to that altitude, you should be out under the stuff.
Okay, well, 101 will need clearance to Palmdale and Edwards. Go ahead.
Okay, Charlie, we'll get airways alerted to where you're heading. In the meantime, you can be trying the feathering procedure.
Roger, we'll try that right now.
The time is 8:37.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Well, it doesn't look like we're going to have enough gas to go over there and do the things that have to be done before we land at Palmdale, particularly with the weather and the climbing up. We won't be able to climb up with the gas we have remaining.
Okay, Charlie, if you choose to do so, we'll prepare everything here for your landing at Los Angeles. Are you VFR now?
I think that's the wisest procedure because of the weather topping the mountains. We don't have enough gas to go into the climb and to get over there and to have the proper time to do what should be done. I think we'd better make it right here at Los Angeles.
Okay, Charlie, we'll get everything alerted here at the field. I didn't understand. Are you VFR in the Los Angeles vicinity? Go ahead.
Roger, we are VFR in the Los Angeles vicinity and will remain so.
Okay, Charlie. Ed Kissick's here in the office. He'd like to talk to you.
Okay, put him on.
Charlie, Norm Temper just called. There's one more thing he'd like to have you try, and that is completely unload your hydraulic system and then try free-falling your gear. You get that okay?
I did that twice. Once with the system pressure and the emergency pump, also with the normal hydraulic system. No luck. No luck with it.
You did then completely unload the system to zero pressure and then try free-falling?
Affirmative. We did that, and we'll do it once more.
All right, Charlie, fine. And then if you decide to land here and your gear is still up, give us as much warning as you can, because we're going to have to clear the field.
Well, we have definitely decided to land here in view of the weather and our gas situation.
How much fuel do you have left at the moment?
We have, let's see, we've got about 1,600 pounds in respective tanks.
That's about 3,200.
A little bit more than that, about 35.
Okay, Charlie, you let us know how you make out on the unloading system, huh?
Yeah, we'll try again. And we're proceeding with the preparation for the passenger evacuation. Does anybody have any ideas about the approach in addition to what the book says? We'd appreciate any little tips here and there.
Stand by. We'll call you back.
Okie doke.
The time is 8:45.
What's the wind in L.A. now?
Wind is south, about 2 miles an hour. We've had very little wind through the night, Charlie. It's practically calm, just a light south breeze.
Okay, find out if it's recommended to land on the runway or on the side. I don't at the moment know the obstructions on the side, but find out what the experts say, will you?
Yes, sir.
And you might as well, as soon as you're prepared, you might as well let us know the runway that thinks best and expedient for us to use, and we'll think about that too, huh?
Okay, Charlie, I'll get all the dope, give it to you in a package in about 3 minutes.
Okay.
The time is 8:51.
Charlie? Charlie, the tower, I'd like the runway selection, whichever you prefer. 25 right, 25 left. Is that agreeable with you?
Yeah, well, we'll take a look when we come over the field. In the event this thing slides off to one side or the other, I don't know which way it's going to go. We'll look for ourselves. I don't want this thing running into those airplanes in the ramp if I can help it.
Okay, Charlie, if you want to try 25 left, they can put some foam on the runway, make it a little slippery for you. And all the equipment will all be lined up there waiting your arrival. Go ahead.
Okay, that'll be fine. We'll advise you shortly. We're continuing with the preparation for evacuation of the passengers, and they're all calm, cool, and collected.
Okay, Charlie, sounds like a good show.
The time is 8:55.
Hey, we want to confirm something we've overlooked here. Which flare should be pulled first? The book no longer includes it. We just want to verify with someone on the ground.
Give me the question again, Charlie, a little slower, please.
Okay, but ask somebody there which of the flares you jettison first, the forward or the aft one?
Down the rear one.
Oh, disregard the question.
Okay, Charlie, just before you said disregard, it was suggested that the rear flare should be jettisoned first.
Hey, Charlie, this is Ed Keswick again. Hello, Charlie.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Douglas Company just called. They'd like to have you on this gear handle business up and down. Throw it to the up position. But just leave it there for a second, and then slam it down and leave it down, say 30 seconds after you put it down. Did you get that, Charlie?
We just jettisoned both flares, and they're free falling now. Stand by one.
Roger. Did you get what I said about moving the gear handle again?
Okay, we're doing that.
Now, we don't want to seem in a position here of telling you all your business, but I guess we ought to try everything that anyone can think of. And we're going to have you land on runway 25 left, which is the instrument runway and a little bit wider.
Okay, 25 left. That's what it'll be then.
Okay. The only thing that any of us can think of on your question about passenger evacuation would be to get them close to the main door inasmuch as you don't have a full load. Now, I get them all back and then go ahead with your normal preparations for evacuation, having the doors trail and so forth and so on.
Yeah, we've already done that. We've moved them back to the rear end. Everything's been stowed away, and they've all been advised of the procedures.
Okay, Charlie. We don't think of anything else, and you just give us your ETA touchdown and make it as much time as you can so we have the runway foam for you and so forth and so on.
Okay, fine.
And we'll tell you what part of the runway will be foamed, and, of course, I know you'll put it right down on it.
Okay, fine. We'll do our best.
All right, Charlie.
We're on time and a half, are we not?
The time is 9 o'clock. Exactly.
This is Ed Keswick again. The base just called, and they have one more suggestion for you, and that's to completely unload your hydraulic system. Leave the bypass up when you have zero pressure, and then put your gear handle down and zoom your airplane. You get that?
Well, actually, we've run through that, Ed. We've tried that. But we'll do it once more, though. It certainly won't hurt.
Okay. Well, we hate to be giving you all this intelligence all the time, but if the base calls us, we pass it on to you for what it's worth. And you're the doctor and you're the judge.
We're glad you fellows are down there.
The time is 9:13.
Charlie, for your information, they're laying foam like crazy on the runway now, and from the progress they're making, it looks like they'll be completed in another 5 to 10 minutes. I talked to the tower operator, and they advised that the foam will last about 20 minutes. Now, assuming that they completed laying the foam at 25, it would mean that we should land not later than 45. For your information, the foam is being laid on the runway from the Glide Path Shack West. Now, I don't know where you are in relation to the airport, but they're laying an awful lot of it down there. Go ahead.
We've taken care of just about everything in the airplane now, except opening the windows and trailing the ropes. And if I understand you correctly, the foam is being started or it's being laid down from the Glide Shack West. Is that correct? The Glide Path Shack?
That is correct, Charlie, and they're still in the process of laying it. The tower advises that you land no later than 20 minutes after the job has been completed.
Well, you give us the word when it's completed, and we'll stay close by. We're going to make one low pass over the field and take a good look at everything, and then we'll come on in and land. Okay?
Okay, Charlie, we got your remarks. And the tower has just advised that there will be 1,500 feet of foam from the Glide Path Shack West. And we can get more foam on it if you want it.
Well, why don't you check Douglas and see what they recommend? They're probably more expert on it than we are.
Okay, Charlie, we'll do.
Whatever's customary is okay with us.
Good boy.
The time is 9:20.
Hi, Charlie. Just wondered where you were and how everything looked to you as you went over the field. Go ahead.
We're filming out here.
Okay, Charlie, I won't bother you again, although when you make up your mind when you're coming in, I'd like to know so that we can have everything really red-hot alerted for you. I'll pass on to you one comment from the Douglas Company, which they were really concerned about, and this is do not feather the engines.
Yeah, we got that before. We will comply.
Okay, Charlie, we'll wait to hear from you.
The time is 9:35.
We've opened the windows, finished preparation for emergency evacuation. We're all set. We're going to come back over the field now and make a practice pass at the field prior to the final landing.
Okay, Charlie. I guess I won't be talking to you anymore on this frequency then, but we'll monitor it. You go to the tower frequency, and we'll be all set for you when you arrive. Good luck.
Okay. Thanks, Ed.
The time is 9:49.
A few minutes later, Captain Charlie Dent made a successful wheels-up landing. The aircraft was flying again for United in 3 days.